Rangers are famous for producing men who, without fear, took on any opponent from any team to ensure a Rangers victory. From the earliest days of the club, these great men were known as the Wing Wizards. Post-war era, few wingers can match the record of Davie Wilson. He had speed, skill, strength, but most importantly, scored over 150 goals. The television coverage in the early 60s may have been primitive by today's standards, but we can still feel the commitment of the Rangers players in a very icy Nair Day match.
As I said, right, Scott taking the first corner. Davis has it. And it's a goal, yes. That's the Celtic defender on the way, but it's Davis who opens the scoring. As Brand to Wilson. And obstruction again. There's been a lot of this obstruction today. Baxter to Wilson. Wilson still with it. Oh, that was a dangerous shot. He gets a corner. Still coming on. Baxter to Wilson. He's outside left. Bren. And it must be, yes, his. And Miller has scored. Here's Greg coming in. On to Brand. Greg again. It's a goal. And that makes it 3. Inside forward, Greg has made it Rangers 3, Celtic 0. That's Davis, the right half. Celtic backpedaling for all their worth. Davis coming right in. And Miller, the start. There's a chance for Wilson, and it's goal!
Naturally, I was a goal scorer, and it was always in me for to score goals. I just had the knack of being in the right place at the right time. And if I didn't score a goal every 2 games, I couldn't sleep at night.
Davie won his first Scottish Cup medal in 1960, but it was his third which was to be memorable. Rangers met Celtic in an epic final over 2 games in 1963. The deadly trio of Miller, Brand and Wilson were to show why they are still remembered today.
Miller to Henderson and all the Celtic defence in the wrong place. And Brand scores. Well, if you can't see that goal, it's because you've got nothing but Rangers supporters standing here. And with 3 minutes to half-time, that neat little bit of football puts Rangers ahead by 1 goal to 0. Mackay clearing. Murdoch coming through, and here's Hughes. Hughes should score. No, but Murdoch does. You can see that signs of this nearly 90 minutes of hard, grueling play. And Baxter takes the way to Wilson. Wilson on to Miller. Miller to Henderson. Henderson. And that's Wilson who put it over the bar.
I should have scored in the last 5 minutes. I should have scored the winner. But really, we murdered them in the second game. It could have been 5 or 6. It was easy. It's sorry to say that, but at that time it was.
Incredibly, the sides had not met in a Scottish Cup final for 35 years. it made Rangers even more determined for victory.
Touch on to Miller. Level pass to Henderson. Brand scores. Ralph Brand, after 8 minutes play, has shot Rangers into a 1-goal lead, and see the tremendous excitement on the terracing. Free kick. McNamee heads it away. Here's Miller. Left foot drive, and it comes cannons off the post. Baxter. Wilson. Miller. Able pass from Miller to Wilson. Brand, a shot on the corner, the ball into the net. An incredible goal by Ralph Brand.
Davie also scored in that victory, but sadly the film has been lost in the mists of time. Such success seems remarkable, as in the early 60s, training was very different. It mostly consisted of running round the Ibrox track and rarely involved any football. But Miller, Brand and Davie Wilson had their own strategy.
The three of us used to stay on behind after training and work at our game. Work throw-ins, corner kicks, different things. We were playing an old Croxley maybe 20 years after we'd finished, and I shouted something to Ralphie and he did it. And we worked something that we'd worked on hours and hours and hours 20 years ago, and we scored off it.
The stability of the team lineup contributed greatly to their success, which brought them the treble in 1964.
Through to Miller. Miller, Brand. On to Henderson. Brand. That was a free kick. 18 minutes gone. Henderson taking this free kick. And Brand trying to poke it in. And Miller has scored. Miller has scored after 18 minutes of the second half.
The Rangers can beat anybody. You know, I don't see the Rangers ever getting beat when I go to see a Rangers game. It's just that thing that's in me. I'm a die-hard and still am. But in those days, we used to have a bet. Jimmy, Ralphie and I have a few quid who would score the first goal, because we were so sure that we were going to score a few goals.
Clue to the going, it's very hard, only just playable in the patterns which you appear to see on the pitch caused by the sand which has been spread on to give the players a grip. Wilson. Wow, what a comeback goal for Davie Wilson.
Nothing could beat us in Scotland. Really, we were unbeatable at that time. And maybe if we had a Dick Advocat at that time along with Scott Simon, we would maybe have won the European Cup.
Henderson. Madsen going over to cover him. And Smith scores!
Willie Henderson was the archetypal winger of the 1960s. Only 5'4", but strong as an ox. He would blast past defenders, leaving them in his wake. He had the uncanny ability to wrong foot the opposition, throwing them off balance. He would then deliver the killer cross.
And here's Henderson. Every time he gets the ball, you can feel the buzz of excitement go round Ibrox.
I first saw my style of play in the 1958 World Cup, when there was a lad called Garrincha playing for Brazil. And that was really where my style of play came from. But there was plenty of times that I came off the field and I really wondered how I had achieved some of the things I'd done, because I was basically a natural player.
Henderson. If Henderson doesn't let Cox come in hard, difficult to stop. McLean is onside this time. And a wonderful save by Slater from Brand.
Willie didn't know what he was going to do. Honestly, didn't he? Willie, it was just instinct. I don't know what it was, but instinct, whatever you want to call it. Willie would beat you and then come back and beat you again, and Willie was a one-off. Tactics, anything, you just exclude Willie. But if you gave him the ball and asked him to do his business, Willie was fantastic.
Johansson. There's Ferguson. Fenman towards Henderson to goal. Goal by Willie Henderson. Celtic nothing, Rangers 1 after 7 minutes of the first half.
Willie Henderson was a brilliant signing for Rangers. At 17, he played his first league game, and at 18 became the second youngest international ever to play for Scotland. Many clubs wanted the youngster to sign, but his father knew where his future lay.
It was a big moment in my life. Young boy for Caldercrooks, mining village, and all of a sudden you're walking in the famous doors of Glasgow Rangers Football Club with a view to signing. I've been playing in internationals for the Scotland under-15s, and there's various scouts go to these games. I think there's about 40 chapped my door over a period of 6 months. But I think my father always had an angle for me to go to the blue jerseys.
Willie won his first Scottish Cup medal in 1962 and his second in the epic final of 1963. The following season, Rangers again were in the final. It was to prove one of the most remarkable for many years.
Shearer tremendously cool under pressure. Henderson to Brand. That was intelligent play. Henderson, the whole forward line in full cry. Slater. Miller to Baxter. Miller. Oh, I wonder how they missed it. Henderson. Too far, I think. Henderson. 20 minutes to go as Henderson takes his corner kick. Miller, and it's goal! Goal by Miller!
But the celebrations were short-lived, as within a minute, Dundee equalised.
And here's Cameron's off. That's upset, he's offside. And it's a goal! A beautiful goal by Cameron. Right on the rebound.
The scores remained even, mainly due to the heroics of Bert Slater, Dundee's goalkeeper. But with 4 minutes left, Willie knew what he had to do.
It was one each with 4 minutes to go. And the reason I found out there was 4 minutes to go, there was an ambulance sitting at the side. And I says to him, "How long is there to go?" He says, "There's only 3 or 4 minutes, Willie." I went, "It's time I went to work."
It's Henderson on the left wing. It's a goal, yes, and Miller has scored. I thought the ball was going over the bar. Well, with a bit of... And Henderson on to Brand, with Henderson taking it. It's Henderson on to Brand, on to Wilson. And it's going to be another one. Yes, it's a top one. Well, this is the most fantastic, unbelievable cup final I've ever seen.
Willie regularly turned in magnificent performances for Rangers at every level, but various stories have been told about his one weakness, his poor eyesight, which sometimes led to problems on the pitch.
Well, he was blind. He was. I can vouch for that. Nah, he was blind. Some nights when you played floodlight games, Willie, he couldn't see the ball. I think he had radar or something in his head, but he couldn't see the ball.
Bobby Shearer asked me to find out how long there was to go in a game. And I went across to where the dugouts were. And I just saw the hand getting put up. 5 minutes. So I run back to Bobby and told him there was 5 minutes to go, and he'd say, well, come on, let's get going, we'll maybe get the equaliser. But within about 30 seconds, the referee had blew for time up. And I was walking in the tunnel and I got a wee hit in the back of the head, and I turned round and, what's that for, Bobby? He says, you told us there was 5 minutes to go. He says, there's only 30 seconds to go. I says, well, I went across to the duck. That was the Celtic dugout you went to, he says. That was Big Steen putting his hand up, he says.
But even if Willie's eyesight wasn't up to scratch, it didn't stop him turning in dazzling performances for Rangers.
Well, Rangers have beaten Celtic 4 times already this season. Gregg on to Forrest. Henderson of Rangers. And a goal! Goal by Henderson. Look at the wee flag. Well, that's one right out of the bag. Well, if he does that to Celtic end, they'll sure get a reception.
A television company asked me to have a rerun of the moves in that goal. And they took me onto the park at Ibrox. And when I actually stood and looked at where I had ran from, I said, that must have been some player. And then when I scored it, I just went straight to the Celtic end. But my eyesight was never the best, Chris.
The name of Willie Henderson will always be linked with the heydays of the 1960s. It was a time of great music, great football, and of course, great Rangers wingers.
I think the 60s were absolutely out of this world. They were absolutely tremendous. The music was great. The football was great. Wonderful time for Andrew. I wouldn't have liked to have played my football in any other era except the 60s. Wonderful.
Henderson to go. Goal by Willie Henderson.
And a goal! Goal by Henderson. Look at the wee flag. Johnston. Willie Johnston.
Whenever great Rangers wingers are mentioned, one name always arises: Willie Johnston. His displays for Rangers were awesome. His bursting pace, taking him past defenders and into the danger area. Remarkably though, Willie never saw himself as a winger and wanted to play as an inside forward.
I never wanted to be a winger because you're relying on too many people to give you the ball. But when they found out I could run, I was quick. And I thought they were just going to play me as a winger just to ease me into the team. Then eventually I was wanting to play through the middle as a striker or just a midfield player. But I was quick, so they played me outside left. I hated it. I did.
But Willie had a great mentor in Davie Wilson, who made sure the 17-year-old started out on the right foot.
Willie was my boy at that time, and he used to get his backside kicked a few times when the boots were dirty and things like that. And he was a hear-em, scare-em type, but he was a good player. He had pace, he had ability, he had everything.
Davie Wilson was brilliant for me. I stripped next to Davie in the dressing room, and Davie Wilson helped me with all the professionals. Obviously, Davie Wilson was brilliant for me.
Really, wasn't he a winger? He was, at that time, an inside forward and wanted to play there. But when I left, he was made an outside left, and Bud, really, as we called him, became an internationalist and was a superb player.
With Davie Wilson as his guide, Willie was bound for success, but manager Scott Simon made sure he kept his feet on the ground and had wise words for the youngster.
The first thing Scott Simon says to me when I got into the first team, he says, "Stay away from Jimmy Baxter." He says, "Stay away from Jimmy and you'll make a career here." But he was brilliant. But he was the old school. Collar and tie, very rarely seen at the training. But he was a very shrewd man.
One of Willie's most remarkable matches was the 1966 Scottish Cup final against Celtic. His tremendous skill laid on a goal, which is still talked about over 30 years later. Ironically, the lead-up is often used as an example of great wing play, but Willie was actually playing in the position he always wanted, inside forward.
Inside forward, Johnston. Well, I don't know how McLean missed that one. And somebody's foot stopped that one. And it's a goal by Johansson. Well, there it is. Johansson, the first Danish player ever to appear in a cup final. And he is celebrated by scoring the first goal.
We were always told, don't come by the halfway line. Don't come back into defend or anything. We were just there to get the ball, beat the man, try and score a goal or put in a good cross. But defending, we were always told, forget about defending. We didn't defend.
That attitude made Willie Johnston the top scorer in season 68-69, netting 29 goals. But arguably, his greatest moment of glory came in 1972, when Rangers won the European Cup Winners' Cup. It was a sweet victory for Willie, who had lost in a previous final in Germany.
To get to a European final, if you come from Scotland, and it's hard. And once you've lost one European final, you don't want to lose a second one. And 3 or 4 years left for the one that was in 67 to the one in 72, and we were determined that we were going to come back as winners.
Ibrox. Jordan in. No whistle. Dave Smith has it towards Colin Steen. Steen is a goal! It's a goal by Steen! What a goal!
Although Rangers were the firm favourites to win the cup, Moscow Dynamo proved to be a strong team. It was left to Willie Johnston to make his mark on the game.
Alfie Conn, John Gregg, here's Dave Smith. Smith going up. It's a good ball, it's a goal. It's a goal by Willie Johnston.
Dave Smith was a very talented football player. Great passer of the ball. I used to make runs from the left into the middle of the park, and he would deliver the ball. And I got up and beat the boy, scored by a header. It was easy.
Rangers' third goal may not have been technically brilliant, but as the game unfolded, it proved to be a vital one for the Ibrox side.
Steen, and here's Willie Johnston with a chance, and it's a goal. It's a goal by Johnston, right out of the blue. Rangers 3 up, incredibly 3 up.
Everybody says, oh, he's miles offside. No, I'm no offside, because very rarely I got caught offside. Because I used to run square and then go in the back of them. I had an idea where the ball was going. I mean, it's just a big hump up the park, and it looks as me just coming out the grass and scoring a goal. But no, me and Big Peter knew what we were doing.
However, the Russians fought back, scoring 2 goals. For Willie, the final whistle couldn't come quickly enough.
They were a good team. The last half hour, they came back at us, and they were very strong, good Russian side and good professional team.
Russians, and then it is! The final whistle's gone. Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup. And onto the field go thousands upon thousands. Rangers have won, and I've never seen anything like it.
The scenes of jubilation were matched by the players in the dressing room, especially when John Gregg returned victorious with the trophy. Willie had been a vital part of the victory, scoring 4 goals in the tournament. Although Willie Johnston's career was tempestuous at times, he will be remembered for his great skill and speed, making him an entertainer, one who will never be forgotten by loyal Rangers fans.
Willie Johnston is the fastest player I've ever seen in my life. And I could run. Willie was a very, very, very fast player. Very, very good player. One of the best wingers that's ever been at Ibrox, without any fear of controversy.
Hine, Johnston, and a goal! And Johnston has scored to make it Celtic 1, Rangers 1, after 10 minutes of the second half.
And McLean with it. Rangers have got to exploit this situation. On back towards McLean, great move. There, beautiful goal. Oh, what a brilliant goal.
Another talented wee winger was Tommy McLean. Although 5'4", he wasn't a dribbler like Willie Henderson or Johnstone, but he had remarkable pace. But it was his pinpoint crosses which won Rangers many crucial matches, helping them to win 2 trebles.
Tommy McLean was one of the better wingers that I played with, because if one thing, he was direct. I mean, he wasn't one of these flamboyant wingers that beat a full back and then wanted to beat him again, then come back and beat him again. Tommy McLean was more direct. He would beat his defender, get to the byline, look up, and he's probably the most accurate of crossers in the box that ever has been.
McLean coming through. Good run by McLean. Tremendous run by McLean and a goal by Johnston. Oh, Tommy McLean, brilliant. Greece going up. McDonald now on the break. Trying to find McLean. Good ball. Parlane coming out to help. McLean cutting infield. Square to Parlane. Parlane gets it back. Out to McLean, still dangerous. McDonald, Johnston, Scott, all in the middle. McLean, right foot to the left foot. There's the chip cross. Johnston going in. That's there! Beautiful goal. Derek Johnston has scored in the 5th minute for Rangers.
He always thought about the game. He just wasn't one of these players when you played the game and you went into the dressing room after the game, you would just sit down and have a bath. He would sit down there and actually analyse the game at that time. Maybe he'd hit across to me and I didn't make a run to the near post. And after the game he would say to me, remember that time I cut by and you were at the back? Had you made a run to that near post, it would have been easier for me to cut. So he always thought about the game. And he's certainly the thinking man's winger was Tommy McLean, that is for sure.
Signed by Willie Waddle in 1971, Tommy went on to become a constant member of the Rangers team in the 1970s. His skill as a winger, combined with Rangers' awesome strike force, was crucial to the team's success. The strikers may receive the glory when goals are scored, but without suppliers, they cannot succeed. This is where Tommy McLean came into his own, providing the defence-splitting run and killer cross.
Rangers get the second half underway. They've got a very good Scottish Cup record against Aberdeen. This is their 17th meeting in the Cup. The previous 16 encounters, Rangers have won 9, Aberdeen 3, 4 have been draws. And Rangers confidently coming forward. Oh, what a simple goal! After 15 seconds, Alec McConnell makes it 2-0 for Rangers.
In 1975, Celtic were attempting to win their 10th championship in a row, but with the spirit of players like Tommy McLean, Rangers would not let that happen.
Jackson up this time in the box, but it's a low one. Scott. Tommy McLean coming back to Kilmarnock, gets a goal. Foul given there against Ian Munro. Free kick to Rangers. McLean chipping it forward, headed down by Stanton. Rangers trying to keep the pressure on. McLean out to Jordan. Cool play by Jordan. A good pass forward to McCann. McCann going on the outside, getting it across. Chance for Steele and a goal! 16 and a half minutes played and Easter Road erupts.
I think we scored more goals than any other Rangers team, simply because we just wanted to go forward. It didn't bother us. If we lost the goal at the back, we always realised we were going to have plenty of chances up front to score more. We always fancied ourselves to score more goals than any other team. And that's what made the excitement. We played all our football in the opposition's half.
It was Derek Johnson letting fly. Quinton Young. And that's a great goal.
Donald with the throw. Parlane going up. Donald going in. Heading it across to Johnston. Donald again. Out in front to McLean. A deflection and a goal.
With such a strong team spirit, the players knew instinctively what the others were thinking. In the Scottish Cup final of 1976, Derek Johnson and Tommy McLean knew exactly what was needed to complete the treble.
We decided the first free kick that we got, no matter whereabout it was in the opposition half, I would turn my back on him, I would go to the back post, then I would just turn and sprint to the near post, and he would be waiting for me to give me the ball.
McLean with Greg. In goes Johnson, it's there! That's the snap goal I was talking about. 40 seconds.
Tommy McLean was a great servant to Rangers. He won a European Cup Winners' Cup medal and was a vital member of the team which won 2 trebles. He was undoubtedly one of the great Rangers wingers.
McDonald. McLean. Great chance for number 2. It's there. It's number 2.
No programme about Rangers wingers would be complete without honouring Davie Cooper. A true blue in every sense of the word, he is rightly praised by every Rangers fan privileged enough to have seen him perform his magic.
Cloist to Durant to Cooper. Cooper for Rangers. Beautiful performance by Cooper. And it's in, it's a goal, the equaliser. Brilliant run by Cooper.
Signed from Clydebank in 1977, Coop wasted no time netting his first goal in September.
Johnston, Gordon Smith, Cooper, left foot goal, a brilliant equaliser.
Cooper taking this free kick.
Headed by Johnston. Johnston scores. Cooper took a really perfect free kick there, flighted it right across, close to the far post, and Johnston, unmarked, rose to head it.
I remember playing against Davie when Rangers had a cup tie against Clydebank. I think it took us 3 games to get rid of them, and he was absolutely sensational in all 3 games. But looked at this wee chubby winger as he was in these days, as I used to call him, the fattest winger in Scotland, and we didn't like that. But I'll tell you what, with that ball at his feet, unbelievable. He made people dive in at him, and he just slipped the ball either through their legs or got by them. And that was the first real look I had of Davie Cooper, and to me he looked an absolutely sensational player.
That first impression was justified. Davie went on to become a Rangers legend, and it wasn't long before he drew first blood against Celtic.
Cooper, Smith. The back is Greg. And Smith made that look obvious. He gets it crossing. There's Cooper. It's a great goal.
I remember the goal he did score, we beat them at Hampden 1-0, and the ball was cut back to him and he slammed it in the net from 12 yards. I had to jump over it for the ball to go in the net. You could never meet a happier man in your life than Davie Cooper that day. That certainly made his day.
Magician. Absolute magic. He was left side, but what a left foot it was like Baxter's. He just had natural ability and he applied it the right way.
Well, there's a goal. Colin McCarroll. Cooper shaping to take this. Jordan's there and Forsyth. Oh, what a goal! Oh, Russell, and that's a dangerous position to get his team into. Willie got very careless with that. Cooper wants to go, and he's on, and he does, and it's there.
Davie could certainly score goals, but his skill when beating defenders was at times breathtaking.
Cooper coming back, Monroe going forward. Cooper cuts inside. Finn's falling back. Still has it. An amazing run by Cooper. Could be a fantastic goal, it is. Oh, Davie Cooper, brilliant. Flick, hat-trick, what a goal!
Cooper free on the left. Oh, a chance for Rangers. Cooper taking on McGrain. That's McCoist! A brilliant goal from Rangers!
There is one goal from Davie's early career which was voted as Rangers' best ever. Of course, it was against Celtic and epitomises the sheer magic of Davie Cooper.
For me, the best goal ever scored by a Rangers player against Celtic was when he's chipped the ball over about 3 or 4 of their head. Celtic chested it down and stuck it in the net. I mean, it's one of the finest goals ever. If that was a Brazilian, they'd have been playing that for years and years to come. Sensational goal.
They're losing out. A chance again for Cooper. And that's the opener from Davie Cooper.
That goal was Davie's first in a Scottish Cup final, helping them to a memorable victory. But no matter the occasion, Davie Cooper always set the wings on fire.
Ferguson and Bobby Russell. Here's Cooper. He scored. The equaliser by Cooper. 2-all.
Davie Cooper entrusted with the task of finding a way past that United wall. And he's made it!
Davie was also a great creator of goals, able to link up with any striker, providing the perfect pass in almost impossible situations.
So, back it goes to Cooper. On to John McDonald, and he's just passed. Beautifully touched on, beautiful move by Rangers again. Really are playing some superb football. Engineered mainly by the man spraying out that pass at the moment, Souness. Now Cooper. Ooh, it's there! Number 2, Ali McCoist.
Roberts is dictating things. That's brilliantly struck by Davie Cooper.
He wasn't one in these days for chasing back. No, he was never going to act as a defender. You give him a ball on the halfway line and Davie Cooper did the rest in the opposition half, where it mattered.
And a ball by Johnstone, and now Davie Cooper. Bent, that's a good ball, Johnson, yes! 3-1, clean as a whistle.
Cooper with a free kick. McAdam on the run. He wasn't picked up. Davie Cooper. Deflection. And Rangers got 2 ahead. 14.5 minutes into the second half.
But it will be the old firm matches that Davie will be remembered for. They raised his passion for the game, and he always gave his all to ensure a Rangers victory.
Well, he loved playing against Celtic. I mean, that was the big games for Davie. I mean, where he came from in Hamilton, it's obviously mixed as Rangers and Celtic. All his family were Blue Noses. They're brought up Rangers fans, so if you're brought up a Rangers fan, your ambition when you're a young person With Davie, it was playing for Rangers in Old Firm game. And I'll tell you what, he very, very rarely let Rangers down in Old Firm games.
Johnston gets a touch on. Davie Cooper, 2-1 to Rangers. Well, that was a splendidly engineered goal.
Here's Ferguson. McDonald to McMahon. Ooh, this is a mistake. Cooper's got it with a chance to score. David Cooper gets the equaliser for Rangers that they so thoroughly deserve at this stage. One each with only 4 minutes left. McMahon putting it right across, a mistake by Bonner, and very coolly, I think the outstanding player of field, David Cooper, got that equaliser.
Tragedy struck Scotland when at the age of 39, Davie Cooper died suddenly. Tributes came from all over Europe to hang on the Ibrox gates. When Davie's great talent is remembered, it will be more poignant that such a fine footballer was taken at such an early age. However, as long as Rangers Football Club exists, Davie Cooper will always be regarded as a true Rangers legend. In 1988, Graham Souness signed a mercurial player who could not only play on either wing, but had the ability to take on teams through the middle, causing chaos in any defence.
Here's Walters, testing and teasing the Aberdeen defence. 1-0 to Rangers. Just look at the way Walters turns here, makes space for himself for the shot away from Connor, and rifles the ball beyond Michael Watt to the far corner. Coyce wins it from Neri, a rare error by David Neri. Rangers trying to make him suffer. And Mark Walters does it.
Graham Souness had revitalised not only Rangers, but the whole of Scottish football, bringing top players from England and Italy. Mark was one who not only did his duty for Rangers, but was a great entertainer.
They come back Ian Ferguson, and there's Mark Walters!
Mark's first full season was one to remember. In the Skol Cup semi-final, he showed the fans what he could offer.
Here's Butcher again with a great chance for Rangers. Smith is there. Now it's Walters. Rangers go in front. Kenny Black for Hearts. Superb tackle there by Butcher. There's Stevens. There's Walters once again teasing this Hearts defence. Faced by Whittaker. Still Walters. Smith has lost it. It's a gift for Scott Nisbet. For Chris Woods, looking for Andy Gray, gets a touch on, there goes Walters. It's Walters for Rangers, and that's the third. Walters is unstoppable.
Hancock, look at this, Aberdeen. Stevens, they go wide open down the middle. Now Walters. Whoa. You knew he was going to let fly with that.
The wall did its job. Walters shot. A brilliant header from Ali McCoist. Now this is Mark Walters turning Whittaker across the far post. There's Nisbet. 2-0 to Rangers.
Mark had the winger's ability to accelerate to top speed in just a few yards to free himself from defenders, but he was also willing to take on the responsibility of scoring himself. Even when Mark was attracting close attention from defenders, his determination carried him through. And like other great wingers, he rose to the big occasion.
Straight to McCall. Drenko. It's a beautiful ball. Here's Walters through. Walters with a great chance, and he got it! Number 4 for Rangers in a breakaway.
Unbelievably, in 88-89, Rangers had not won at Celtic Park in 9 years. They were determined that the unhappy series would end that season.
Walters. Brilliant stop by Walters, and that surely is a free kick. Superb little twist and turn by Mark Walters. None can do it finer than this man. Bit of jockeying for position in there, and that's in! Drenko. A beautiful turn, and it's almost in. He tries to chip it, and Brown just goes over. Brilliant piece of participation there by Walters. There's Ferguson with a shot. Oh, it's a brilliant one, and he's gone in. It's a second for Rangers.
Even more was to come in the following season.
Andy Robertson getting his first touch. It's John Brown again looking for the head of Hateley. A chance for Walters! A magnificent goal by Mark Walters.
Traditionally, the way centre forwards play, they rely on wing play. A big striker like me thrives on that sort of stuff. Getting to the byline and pulling the ball back is a centre forward's dream, really.
Gary Stevens left there by Walters. Hateley now to Johnston. Walters getting the ball in. It's Hateley, and Rangers have scored.
During Mark's last season at Ibrox, he proved invaluable, not only as a provider, but a scorer of goals, taking Rangers to the final step towards the championship.
And every time Mark got the ball, he was very, very positive. Used to take people on all the time. It was a pleasure to play with. It was only for a short time, albeit, but I can remember a few good goals coming from a certain Mark Walters.
In the final match of that season, either Aberdeen or Rangers could win the title. They met at Ibrox, and even today it is remembered as an awesome match.
It was incredible, us needing a win, Aberdeen needing a draw. From start to finish, it was absolutely incredible. 2 or 3 players dropping down, John Brown with his Achilles, and I think Tom Cowan breaking his leg. It was just all hands to the pump sort of thing, but it was a fantastic game to play, and as I say, I don't think that atmosphere will ever be beaten.
Kimmy's clearance. Walters wants to bring the ball down and take on right. Going for the early cross, there's Hateley! It's a magnificent goal for Rangers! 5 minutes from half-time, and Ibrox erupts.
A typical Mark cross with about 6 inches to control it. He controlled it. He feinted to cross it the first time, and then he got it back again, and then he just launched a half-decent ball into the box that yours truly got onto the end of.
Set up here by Walters. Well, good decoy runs made there, notably by Gary Stevens. That ball flighted across it. This is Mark Hateley at his very best, and what another!
But like any other Rangers player, for Mark, the games against Celtic were the fixtures that had to be won. His performances in those games would not disappoint the Ibrox supporters.
Taken in trouble as Ali McCoist. Down he goes this time, but Walters! Mark Walters makes it 5. Awkward one, straight into the net! Walters has scored for Rangers!
Rangers. What a remarkable corner kick, right out of the blue.
Hateley getting the touch to McCoist. Walters! A magnificent goal by Matt Walters.
Sometimes at a club, a player arrives whose talent, flair and sheer ability leave the crowd and the opposition in awe. Such a player was Brian Laudrup.
Laudrup, he's got McCoist, he's got Hateley away on the right. He decides to go it alone. Brilliant play by Laudrup! Oh, magnificent goal! A magnificent goal by Laudrup! Touch from Richard Gough. This is Gascoigne. Still it's Gascoigne, forcing it through. Chance on here for Laudrup. And it's a great goal by Laudrup.
Gascoigne waits until there's movement around him. He can pick out a pass to Gough. This is Laudrup. Van Bossen says when he wants the ball played, Bevan won't let him go there. Laudrup does it by himself. Chance for the second. Oh, that's great play by Laudrup. No answer to sheer class.
Still in play. Here goes Laudrup again. Ferguson and Hateley up with him. It's a great ball across. There's Hateley! And that settles it! Food and drink for Mark Hateley. A delightful cross from the byline.
And Brian, I think for me, you know, is very far and few between. Unsurpassed talent, I would say. I mean, carrying the ball, I mean, he was so quick. And I think what people forget is how big he was as well. You know, he's 6 foot, 6'1", weighing 13, 14 stone. Just used to move past people with so much grace and ease. It was a pleasure.
Played shot by McCall to Laudrup. Good ball through again for Robertson. It's Hateley! Oh, tremendous play by Rangers. What a stunning ball through by Laudrup to Robertson. The cross from Robertson, and Mark Hateley gets his second goal of the match. And here's a break on for Laudrup, showing tremendous pace. He's past the goalkeeper. A sensational goal by Laudrup.
Many players find it difficult to settle in at Ibrox, but from his first match, Brian showed what lay in store.
Rangers force it away to Laudrup. Running by Laudrup. There could be something on here. Duncan Ferguson stays left. There's Ferguson! McPherson to Laudrup. He's popped up again on the right-hand side. Taking on McKinnon, floating in the cross. It's a good one. It's Hateley!
Because he was playing with good players, you see. It's easy to play with good players. For the individual to come into the side, it's so easy because the partner play was there. Everybody knew what they was doing, so it wasn't a big change for one individual coming in. So I think that was the secret.
In his first season, Brian was outstanding. His style of play seemed to confound the opposition at every level. No defence in the country was safe.
This is Laudrup. Nice first touch from McCoist to Jury. Houster's in the middle. McCoist's arriving. Laudrup's here as well. Still it's Laudrup. Great skills again by him. Oh, marvellous goal by Laudrup. 17 minutes gone here at Tannadice. Fantastic skills from Laudrup. Stepping away from two defenders and sending an unstoppable shot past Callum O'Hanlon.
end-of-season party at Ibrox was rounded off by Brian, the way it had begun.
And here comes Laudrup now. Rangers going in for the kill. It's Laudrup again, finding Kanchelskis. Laudrup runs on the outside of him, still it's Kanchelskis! Oh, it's magnificent!
Rangers now knew they had 9 in a row in their sights. Their determination in the league was unshakable.
Gascoigne strikes it in. It's there. Super Ali does it again.
Still in possession, Laudrup. Chance on this time!
However, it was the cup final that year that produced a classic. Gordon Durie scored a hat-trick, but it was Brian Laudrup's performance that will be remembered for many years.
Durie to Laudrup. That's good running by Laudrup, a chance here for Rangers. That's the opener! Hearts were ripped asunder. Durie's pass, off goes Laudrup on the run again, followed by McManus. Severe test for young McManus this, looking after Laudrup. And a bloomer by Rousset. It's a second for Laudrup. Laudrup to Durie. Johnston, the man going to make a tackle on Durie perhaps. Gascoigne, back it goes towards Durie. Well, Rangers are really toying with Hearts now. Here's McCall. Robertson towards Laudrup. He's on against McManus. He's still on his feet. And this is Durie, surely the fourth. And great work again in the build-up by Brian Laudrup. He's been involved in all the goals this afternoon.
The 9 in a row season was unlike any other. Everyone associated with Rangers knew the importance of victory. Celtic would do anything to prevent a Rangers triumph. Brian Laudrup knew otherwise.
There's a slip by O'Neill, and Laudrup to win. Rangers look for a goal and get one! In the 8th minute from Brian Laudrup. Well, how many times have you and I sat and witnessed this? A good positive start from the home side. One mistake, and when you have someone of the world class of Brian Laudrup, you just can't make a mistake. Look, but he's got 40 yards to go. It's not over and done with. He's got a bit of football in him.
A tale of two Brians. Brian O'Neill made the slip. Brian Laudrup took maximum advantage of it.
Well, the old firm have clashed hundreds of times in their 100 years conflict, but has any stirred the emotions quite like this one?
In March, the two teams met again. Many people considered the fixture would decide the league. The atmosphere throughout Glasgow, and the Rangers dressing room in particular, was intense.
There's a few people breathing out their nostrils flames that day. I think there was a few people couldn't wait to get out, couldn't wait to get in amongst it. I think Rangers were very, very much more up for the game. It proved that way. I think everybody battled like mad, and the result came.
William Johnston coming through, the goalkeeper's off his line. Rangers sensationally take the lead. What a mess the Celtic defence got into there. But really, it was blunderland there from Celtic. The final whistle sounds, and that wraps it up for Rangers.
9-man Rangers had beaten their oldest rivals into second place. Now they could concentrate on bringing the trophy home.
McLean doing the closing down job, which he does so well for Dundee United. Miller's cross is a good one,
that hits Laudrup. It's a classic from Laudrup. Laudrup brings the stadium alight with a glorious goal.
It was fitting that the goal which won the championship was scored by Brian. Throughout that season, great responsibility was placed upon him. But like so many Rangers greats before him, he pulled on the blue jersey and did his duty. It is often said that today's game has changed out of all recognition, but at Ibrox at least, there is still room for a talented winger.
Plenty of movement ahead of him. McCann, that's a wonderful pass to Rod Wallace! And Rangers are off to a flying start.
And when you have two such players, the opposition has no chance.
Kanchelskis on a rampaging run now. Albert. Kanchelskis again. Albert again. And here's Neil McCann! It's number 4.
There's a longish ball, there's no offside. Kanchelskis tries to square it over the exit. McCann, the perfect pass, the perfect finish. The pace of that man and the good positioning and neatest of touches by McCann.
Signed in June 1998, Andrei Kanchelskis didn't waste time netting his first goal in a league challenge which would end in a glorious treble. Andrei came to Ibrox with an impressive record of performances at the highest level. He often showed why he had been so sought after. Andrei has the vital ingredient in a winger: the ability to accelerate in a few paces, to throw off the defence, then deliver the goal-scoring shot. And like many Rangers wingers before him, he also has the ability to entertain the crowd.
Now Kanchelskis gets it back from Marina, and Billy Dodds taps in number 4. It started with a little bit of showboating from Kanchelskis as the Ayr United defence was unzipped.
However, Andrei had his critics. There was only one way to answer them.
Wallace. Kanchelskis, let's rip. Oh, what a sensational goal from Andrei Kanchelskis. He's had a bit of stick lately. There's his answer to it. Wonderful.
Well, what can you say about that? The execution of this is magnificent technique. That's not easy to take, but just when they needed it, Kanchelskis has delivered big time.
Neil McCann and Andrei Kanchelskis played their first full game together in February 1999. It proved a potent combination and gave Neil his first goal for Rangers.
Oh, slipped it through and gets it back, and that is simply wonderful. 1-2 with Charlie Miller, and Kanchelskis scores. Flora decided to spread his wings. Here's Kanchelskis. Now McCann for number 6. Emphatic for Rangers as they move through to the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup.
It was the start of a great spell for Neil, scoring 5 goals in 4 games. It was a habit he was not about to give up.
Battling for possession, McCann and Adamchuk. Neil McCann comes away with the ball. George Albert's appearing alongside him. It's in for Albert, a chance for the hat-trick! 3 for Albert, and a delightful
Beautiful set-up by Neil McCann. Superb skill. And that's 4-1. It's one back by Alberts. Now Neil McCann, chance for number 5. That's absolutely superb from McCann. They're in top gear with this move. It's Arthur Newman. And it went all the way through to McCann. And he's determined to get on the score sheets. And he has done. It's 4 for Rangers. It's easy for Rangers. It's McCann.
The first thing you need, I think, as a winger is pace. If you've got pace, then you've a chance. And the difference with Neil McCann is he's got pace, but he's got great ability to go with it as well. He's very direct. I think he's a clever player. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. He's capable of playing through the middle as well. So he's willing to take the knocks from big centre-halves as well.
Alberts to McCann. And Rangers breach Dundee's defences here. Good run from McCann. Billy Dodds! He's done it! As you kind of thought he might. And the champions go 1-0 up.
Neil McCann is the latest in a long line of players who excite the crowd with their extrovert style of play. Even today, it is difficult to imagine the game without wingers, especially those who give their all when they pull on the blue jersey.
McCann, nice play. Ferguson, time to play it back to McCann. Is this the equaliser? It is! Neil McCann!
Well, 11 that played at that time played for the jersey. Something that people say doesn't happen nowadays. I think it does.
Once we were on that field, everybody pulled for each other. There was an excellent spirit in that team. And when the team went on the field, we were a better team for it. I didn't see too many things wrong with that team in the 60s.
There's no doubt that team we had in the 70s, the majority of them were all Rangers fans. We'll have to say that for a start. And they just loved playing for the club and they loved playing for the jersey. You can't say any of us were superstars in the team. We all just work hard as a unit and we all work for that jersey and we love playing for that jersey.
In the days when I played, it was pretty much you pull that shirt on and out you went, and still try 110% for the shirt. It was a friendship, brotherhood, if you could put it like that. I mean, it was more than just playing on a Saturday or a Tuesday or whatever. The spirit that we had was, in my career, unsurpassed.
That spirit still shines through today, and no matter the era that Rangers play in, there is one fixture that means more than any other.
Henderson of Rangers. And a goal! Goal by Henderson. Look at the wee fella. Hine. Johnston. And a goal! Can't let it go through.
McDonald. McLean. Great chance for number 2. It's there. It's number 2. Rangers got 2 up.
A vital moment in this game. I make it 5.5 minutes remaining of the Skull Cup final. Penalty to Rangers. 2-1. Done with the greatest simplicity by the man hoisted up by McCoy's, Davie Cooper. And Rangers get the free kick. Brown on towards Ferguson. Here's Drinkle. Feels for a penalty, it's given. It's there. Rangers are in the lead, 2-1. Mark Walters puts them there.
Jury. Oh, Laudrup has spun clear. Brian Laudrup past Marshall. And Rangers feel they've got 1 foot in the final.
It's as physical as ever. Oh, Van Bronckhorst has released Kanchelskis. Kanchelskis surely. 2-0. Rangers are most definitely heading towards the title. There wasn't really much doubt anyway. There's absolutely no doubt now.
In their long and proud history, Rangers had never won the championship at Celtic Park. On the 2nd of May 1999, that glorious ambition was about to come true. It was fitting that a player who in the past would be called a winger delivered the prize.
Tony Vidmar missed last week's game against Aberdeen with a leg injury. Van Bronckhorst slides it through here to Rod Wallace, and it's in from McCann, and Rangers have the lead. And are they edging towards the title? Neil McCann is buried underneath his celebrating teammate. Rangers on course to complete a century of league victories over Celtic in this famous fixture, which goes back over 100 years. Neil McCann is through here, he's past the keeper, and Neil McCann has clinched the championship for Rangers. It's 3-0, it's the magnificent McCann.
Rangers created history that day, and with the spirit and tradition of great Rangers wingers from the past, present, and surely the future, the Wing Wizards will go on forever.